I ate some workout, not a full portion, some, and then I had a vegetarian half nan. Well, one piece of nan, it was supposed to be one sandwich, but it looked like half, but it was a sandwich. I should have had two halves because that would have two nans and whatever. And then had more food went out, and then yeah, and I walked more than 1.2 kilometers today. Fantastic, fabulous, awesome. And then I came home and had a rest, and I'm like, I'm hungry. Great. So we have this chicken teriyaki kind of thing happening. So I thought I'd try it. Comes with rice, not potatoes. So I thought I'd try that. See what it's like. Haven't had one in a while. I've had the bigger one. It's very good. Normally at McDonald's or Burger King, I don't like to eat the meat. Other people published the meat there. Clean chicken. I have done it. And then I gave some to my cat, although I prefer not to. So today, when I had my cheeseburger, I did not eat the meat patty. I asked that be put on the side. And I ate everything else that is there, vegetarian. I find some people in this province, Ontario, Canada, delusional that they should, can, could, may, must, and need do all those illnesses, delusional symptoms, and behaviors with and or without obsessive compulsive disorder, about to and about parents, Bellis, my parents' parents, my parents' parents' parents, and all pets, all Furbies, and myself, together and or separate. Especially not knowing themselves that that's not allowed to be spread to anyone else, and it should be contained in themselves, and they need medication, psychiatry to control it all. And during, did they do anything during? It's not legal, not lawful. That's their responsibilities themselves, not the responsibility of the victims. And mental illnesses and or neurological could happen to anyone, anywhere. It doesn't matter, professions, educations, anything. So when someone believes that they were a voice in our heads or something like that, they're paranoid, aggressive, agitated, delusional, obsessive, without and or with compulsive, that is, and that gave them power. That doesn't give them power. They're just mentally ill. Anyone that contributed to that, also, and it's just, ridiculous. All bad, all purposefully, all wrong. That's why they are laws to protect victims like myself and pets, and one and more other victim. Those other people did too. It's like taking somebody to the veterinarian, emergency, heart stopped or whatever, passed out and had to be brought back to like cardiopulmonary resuscitation, extra air, etc. And taking it to the vet. Now, is the vet on my social media? Has the vet been watching media, looking at media, seeing, hearing media, and obviously had a personal vendetta, prejudged, discriminated, prejudiced, prejudged, and that doesn't give him and or her the right to not give my cat the most health care needed to survive. And anything later since, that's not me. That's not us. That's that other person. And I hope to never meet her again. Not a day in my life do I want my cat to go through that. And my cat went in there, published. Other people published too. Veterinarian Eglinton and Highway 10 published. He's been a published local celebrity, a celebrity for many years. That does not give anyone the right to scare, fear, or delusion themselves, that paranoid themselves that they're a voice in our heads asking for permission to did anything before, later, and since we were there. So with doctors. Doctors get sick, other residents get sick. It's just what it is. They see us as celebrities and they're like totally change their mental health into that instead of us. Lawyers too. What's that illness? Two of them examples: psychosis with and or without schizophrenia, and schizophrenia with and or without psychosis. Prescriptory delusional. When a resident and or their guest came, that I must like them. Erotomanic delusional because they fabricate a bunch of stuff on and off the internet and all elsewhere. A fan, there's limits, Online being a fan and in public places being a fan and liking all that. But residential, that's not me wanting you to add on in, out from, and by my front door. Being paranoid, aggressive, agitated, delusional, and obsessed, and with and or without compulsive. I phoned the police several times, security too. We don't care. We really truly don't. I don't do it to them. I never have. We never have. We never will. I mean, there's technology nowadays on security cameras, images live and recorded. And all those securities guards and alleged concierges. I mean, when that's all showed and told, I'm not lying, all the more. There's so much evidence. There's lots of evidence out there that I, myself, and pets fur babies, that I'm and my pets fur babies, all pets fur babies, were not guilty. Instead, they were. Just like now. Are they on my social media? Especially the weird ones next door. Why? Why? Before, during, later, and since. To add on, in, out, from your friend, the front door next door, the front door next door, and by my front door. I don't want to know you before, during, later, and since November 13th, 2024. I'm not harassing you. You're the one harassing us. I don't have to know you off the internet. I really, truly do not. We don't. YouTube community standards, community posts, and all elsewhere social media, and virtuals. It's happened before on Bow Beaches Boulevard where we used to live. And there were more than, there was only when there was two nursing homes across on the other side of the boulevard. And here on the other side of Credit River, a creek, whatever, there's a nursing home and some other places. So every time somebody chooses to blame us because themselves neurologically impaired and or mentally ill, symptoms and behaviors, like I said, they're paranoid, aggressive, agitated, delusioned, obsessed with and without compulsive, that they were voices, sounds, smells in our heads, and that when they misbehaved, they could not, should not, cannot, could not, may not, must not, and need not, were seen and heard and felt and touched. Other people saw them misbehaving. It's, and did they film it? Did they photograph it all during any of it? Why aren't the police and the courts there? And the social media and or virtual networking, websites, and all media, any media, after them in and out of courts. Security around here, the condominium corporations, they should be getting punished by the courts. That's not allowed. It's not like somebody outside their the resident cell's front door, maybe vlogging or making photos. That even I do that. That's a normality. But you don't go into someone else's apartment and make photos and videos and then publish them anywhere. And you don't show and tell it to anyone. It's just not right. That cannot be legal. That's good. I respect all my other residents' boundaries. And someday the truth will be shown and told all the more. Oh, my parents, all that stuff for babies in my births, ownerships, contents, educations, careers, hobbies, interests, more real estate, and rented on 2100 Shelby Road, other ownerships, etc. It'll all come out to be shown and told. Only other people neurologically impaired and or mentally ill didn't want to show it and told all that, and all financially. And most all those other people neurologically impaired and or mentally ill refused health care. So obviously they're not getting psychiatry to get better, neurology to get better. They're not medicated. I don't believe in everything pharmaceutical, Although, I mean, I followed somebody and I online and I watched Living Well with Schizophrenia. Now, she was diagnosed. Doesn't mean she has it and or had it. She was diagnosed, and she could have been triggered by a healthcare worker and or someone else to believe that she was that ill. And then she decided she wanted to get better a long time ago. And now she's always trying to get better. And I'm proud of her for doing that, unlike some of those other people I've just mentioned, all those other people I've mentioned. I mean, even when I was going to the hospital, my wrists, my hands, my upper bottom, everything, I got a nasty bruise on my thigh. I was like, all my injuries. And that weird man from next door. It was early hours in the morning. Came out nosy. Didn't have to be out. It's none of his business. I mean, there's security cameras on. He could just put the security on. I mean, however it is, via internet, via media, the TVs, whatever. But, oh no, he came out. He had nowhere to go. He had to do nothing. Obviously, even the paramedics asked him, "Are you going somewhere?" And I even said, "You're stalking me. Please go away. Leave me alone. This is none of your business." And I told the paramedics he's been stalking me more than 3 years now. I told him there was a time I told him he was stalking me. He would not stop all the way to the elevator, and the paramedics would not let him on the same elevator as us. That was really good. And the paramedic kept saying he was weird. That man from next door was, excuse me, is weird. Finally got out the building and got to the hospital. Nothing was mental health. It was just all physical. I've had x-rays done. Although x-rays don't show and tell everything, I should have had an ultrasound and an MRI done. I didn't get. And I just wanted to come home and rest. Now, whoever told the police and the alleged coroner that I killed my mother, that my mother was outside, we were home arguing and or banging on walls, lied, as I've mentioned before. 7:01 p.m. I phone called for a taxi to bring us home. So we weren't home long enough. We had been out before 8:30 a.m. that day. So there was nobody doing anything. Here was quiet. It was quiet. There was nobody. My mom and I. No, nobody. Just my cat and some plants. I don't even keep music on or anything so that my cat can enjoy something. He gets quiet. Uh, and he should never been disturbed. And the media reported, I found at least 3 reports. It was not a suspicious death, yet the police and that alleged coroner came with it being a suspicious death. They never mentioned who that other person is in the media that I know of. The police and that coroner accused me of all sorts, killed my mother, and they would not let it stop until they saw my mother because they wanted to witness that my mother was alive. And, well, and then I Googled that. According to Canadian law, I did not have to let them in. I refused them entry because they had not any proof. They did not have a warrant. And I never saw any document. And even if I did, they didn't have any just cause. And there was 4 other cases that they could have used, and they did not. They had no evidence. They had not any proof. So they brutally forced entry and assaulted me several times over, forced their way in, scared my mom, who has many health. I mean, she takes medication. She uses a walker. She's disabled. She has this and that and everything else, right? And then they were like, "Oh, we made a mistake." Did they ever rectify? I mean, those accusers, for one, are they staff downstairs? They should have been fired. 2, when I reached out to somebody, they should have been sued for slander and defamation. 3, the whole lot of them should have gotten fired, lost their jobs for not investigating before they came, instead of having a pre-existing vendetta. and any of them on my social media, such as Return of the Bellis Greenwich, me, and Living Well with Sinus Bradycardia, also known as me, Avril, AVRIL. Again, that's internet trolling, etc. They should have been fired a long time ago, and again, once more, maybe even sued. And they should get arrested for trespass and assault. I mean, you all saw the bruises. I'll show you another bruise. November 12th, November 13th, 2024. I mean, I can attach the link of it happened. You can hear it off for yourselves. And I was like, I'm fed up. I want to exercise today. I wanted to do another thing I wanted to do, but I walked lots. I walked more than a K. More than 1.2K. And I was like, oh, that felt good. But I was like, my mom was tired, and I was like, oh, I'm tired. And I should have kept standing and forced myself to stand. Instead, I sat down, and then my mom was like, she didn't want to wait any longer for coffee, and it was busy, and I was like, oh. She mentioned going home, and I said, okay. It was cold out. It was windy. I don't know why they believed this. They said that somebody told them I killed my mom, that person was my mom, and it was the daughter that did it. The daughter. And they just, I don't know why they made that up. Probably the daughter that did it. I don't know why they did it. I didn't do anything wrong. I don't. I would never kill her. We were out enjoying. I went out. My mom wanted to go on a road trip. I was like, well, and went out on a road trip. We came home after I ate lunch. And I ate out and everything. Came home to that, you know. And I think I even ate more when we got more near home. And it was just like, I don't know why they would prejudge that, you know. They had not any evidence. No, I mean, so what? I'm not the most tidy of persons ever. I mean, people have lied about my parents, my parents' parents, my parents' parents' parents, all pets, all fur babies, and myself for centuries now, decades. They don't know who I am. And because my mom doesn't understand what work is, educate, it doesn't matter how much money we had before. I like to get out for a little while, be it um, anything really. I was dating. I didn't always socialize. I mean, my friends, we have all had lives outside of school. And so I worked a little bit outside my home. And then after I had this accident, injured myself cooking, prepping foods, I worked less. And I did work some of the time at a centers. I did. And then I do sometimes work from home, you know. It's not my fault. My mom didn't know. And my mom, when did real estate, didn't comprehend and or understood my father financings. She didn't know how to do that. And what lawyer did it, he didn't know how to do it too, apparently, because was it not left in my father and his parents' will that others got, then they should never have got. And every time they showed up, it said slander and defamation. They were on they went to the media and or social media. They were on the social media and they were slandering and defamationing, lying to and about us online, especially about my dad. A lot. All the time. On Facebook, it's all up there. Somebody named Patricia McDonald Cole. She was always lying about stuff. She was posting us online. And I even tried to get a lawyer to get it taken down. I complained to even Facebook. To please take down those photos of us. my father, my parents, myself, any and all, including my father, parents. And then they would get like everybody else, oh, we're so afraid. What are you afraid of? Nobody cares. You're the ones that kept coming. We didn't keep going too. You kept coming. You posted, they all posted it all over the internet. And elsewhere, they showed and told themselves, you don't want us. You just want to show and tell everything and then do neurological impairments and uh, mental health. Well, you know, I don't want any more PTSD. I never wanted PTSD. I don't even want to know you. My father didn't know you as often as weird how so much technology people can alter actual photos and videos and recordings, audios, pictures, etc., and documents. It's really creepy. Like I said, it left in my actual father real will, my father parents real wills, and my father parents real wills? No, I don't believe so. They were not entitled to anything, not even a penny. And later since published us on social media and themselves on social media and any and every time they reached out to us. That's something I don't affiliate with very. It's my uncles, aunts, and alleged aunts and uncles, same surnames, Bellis and surnames Thompson, and all other people allegedly my cousins. I don't. I have hardly any. I very rarely have anything to do with them. And somebody named Janice Payton and her alleged other relatives and yeah, such as Edwards and stuff. I don't. All those other people, I don't have anything. I don't even send them mail. I don't want anything to do with them. I mean, it's Christmas. It's supposed to be a joyful time of the year. Even the previous month, November, it was, Halloween, Christmas, and that gap. It's still supposed to be a good time of the year, not something to be such haters and prejudices and prejudges and discriminations. I'm sort of like a multimedia kind of person nowadays. I try to meet people in real life. If social media stuff is not good, no, it's very rarely ever good. It really is very. I don't find it good. I've had very bad experiences. I've gone to the police several times. I've even showed some police officers it's actually been typed while we're there. I'm like, look, it's happening right now. There, you can see the person is harassing me right there. Internet trolling. They're typing it. There's the comments. That's where they're typing. That even happened where I used to work, one of the places, especially. And the alleged president or whatever of the company sent me a letter, showed that as long as there was not any actual proof, as long as it stopped and or there was not any evidence, she would continue to let me attend there and maybe even work there, I suppose. I don't know. She just said I could be there more, and she has up to this far date. I just don't go there that often because I'm not guilty. And as of recent, all the more, you know, and there's security cameras on images live and recorded there. Oh my God. Message retracted. That wasn't me that did that. I did not report any of those messages. Oh, there's more again retracted. That's not me. I did not report. Hello, everybody online. I see you. Oh, so yeah, so that's just. So I was out in a mall today. That was pretty good. Nobody harassed me there that I know of. Nobody. I enjoyed my little walkabouts. I didn't know what to buy. I don't really need anything nowadays. I was like, there was that alleged Black Friday. So I was like, oh, what to get? I'm like, I have to get something. I'm out here. So I decided to get back in this. And then I'll go under our Christmas tree. It's my cat Charlie Brown Christmas tree. It's not the worst and it's not the best. It is what it is. I'm like, it is what it is. He likes it. He's just been there. And I was like, it's like, I just want to see if we need more lights. I put some lights on the tree and it's like, and my mom was like, oh, we should get a star or angel or fairy, something like that, put on top of the tree. And I was like, okay. And then maybe put some presents around the bottom of it. Yeah. So I'm gonna get myself a hot tea. And I'm getting my space ready to do some actual like other people choreographed walk fit, so that I can do some at home walk fit, and I'll probably make a little vlog of my doing this, and you can all laugh at me if you want to. It doesn't bother me any. I mean, it's online, social media. But I find my hands are sore today from all that walking I did and helping my mom carrying stuff for the last 2 days, recent 2 days. I was hungry and I was like, I need to eat something. It's the time of night it is. I ate lots earlier and I just want to eat something light. So I thought, this is out and it's Sunday. Yes, you can subscribe. And I like it when people, because anybody could say, show and tell that they're anybody on my social media. Not everyone shows a photo of themselves and uses their real names. So, you know, so I'm like, you just never know who's gonna come up to you, like somebody that's a resident or somebody shows and tells. I mean, my dad's side of my family, other people allegedly related, surname Bellis, and my mom alleged other relatives, surname Thompson. Every time they've accused us of did anything about them, other people witnessed it was them instead of us, and that we did not. It's just like when my mom brother came to Canada and was in Canada without her knowing earlier, and who knows where he is now. Forced my mom to go to Niagara Falls with her. Forced my mom to meet him for meals and stuff. Forced my mom to go to Niagara Falls with him. Forced my mom to dine with him more. Forced my mom to complete um, greeting cards, allegedly Christmas. Um, I was like, don't put my name on anything. And she swore up and down that she just said it was from herself, and she didn't write any letters or anything, and that like, you should not do that, you shouldn't be doing that. But she said, well, she did it. He wouldn't let her not do it. And then he lies that we would harass him. I mean, when my mom didn't phone him, or he phoned her, he was always phoning her all of a sudden. And then he would lie and say it was our fault. I mean, he's even been violent outside Square One Shopping Center and everything. He's not a good person, but she didn't see it. I know she wouldn't admit to it. They're the ones that kept coming to us. I've never gone to them. We've never gone to them violent. Threats, violence, discriminations, prejudice, prejudices, predatory, resentful, haters, jealouses, internet trolling, stalkers. It was all them. Such as examples: John Mike, Carolyn, Lisa, David, Susan, and Paul. And my mom's side, other people related, alleged Thompsons. I say this all the time. I don't care. I don't want to know them. They should never be too on and out from by our doors and windows, not ever. Be it residential and or elsewhere. Before and during 1984, and later and since. I say it all the time. Doesn't make the haters go away, Doesn't make them go away. They just kept on coming. Like this other people's social media that we've followed, and online socials, online met, traced, commented there. I've seen some other people there that shouldn't be there. What were they doing from my social media to their social media? Thompson's and Bellis's. How many years has it been now? 14 years? More than that? Some? It's not me that's paranoid. It's them. There's enough ISP information. ISPs, Wi-Fi's, public. It's not mental health. It's not neurological. It's all factual. Anyways, I don't want to talk about that anymore. All those other people here say false allegations, false accusations. Let's enjoy a cup of tea together. Let's just have a nice, quick social, and I'll read your comments. We can have a chat. I can even do shout-outs if you want me to do shout-outs. Okay? I'll be right back. Hey, you're reading what? I have my receipt stashed in this. Christmas Eve. Is there such a thing as vegetarian sausage rolls? And I could not find any Yorkshire pudding mixed plant. Oh, look at that. Plant protein. Oh, really? Yeah, I couldn't find any Yorkshire puddings mixed, so I'm gonna have to try again and or get a recipe. But chat away. Get my tea. We'll have a nice little chat. Have any questions I could try and answer? My stomach has been kind of heavy. Pre-work. I'm gonna have to. Okay. Use the water, and then I'm going to do everything, but I'm going to cook it less. I find if I less cook it, I might be able to eat more. The creamier it is, like soup. We'll see. Cold water is boiled hot. There's my tea. Oh. Whew. I had a good channel going. I had over 900 subscribers. And then somebody reported something or other. I got striked and I can't get access to. So I'm using this channel to do my live streams because it's got the most numbers. And I'm still trying to keep everything within the theme of Return of the Bellis Green Witch, myself, Avril. And the other one, Living Well with Sinus Bradycardia, I was, it's got less numbers, although I'm trying to build it all up so that, I don't like to do many health channels because I don't have anything, I don't like talking about myself because other people prejudged and accused me of horrendous activities, and I was like, Heritage Mississauga, why didn't the police look into that before they even came to? They should have been doing their research instead of premeditated their personal vendettas against. And that person, I'm seriously, I would really like, are you on my social media? Why don't you comment why you showed and told them that I killed my mother and that that person did was my mother, is my mother. Meantime, we were elsewhere and did elsewhere. And we never made noises. We were just home minding our own businesses, just living life to the fullest. Like you. When I finish my tea, I'm going to have to take a pain reliever, at least one dose of extra strength. My left foot is sore. My hands and wrists hurt when I use them more than just moving them around. When I lift anything and or anybody, my neck hurts sometimes when I move my neck. My left hip hurts. Occasionally my here hurts. Here hurts. I've walked lots today and it's like, I'm exhausted. It was okay. I mean, I'm sure all the other vloggers, they'll go all out. Many of them, they'll decorate here, there, and everywhere. I won't be doing that. I don't like to decorate lots. Christmas, I, I believe, isn't about decorating. I mean, sure, there's going to be a little bit of sparkles, but not lots. There's a few things, not lots. Nothing big and extra. I mean, it's an apartment. It's nothing big. I mean, it's nothing big and extravagant. You know, I could put a Christmas tree at my window. I could and move everything over that side. I could maybe next year, not this year. I'm quite content where it is. You'll see in a day or two. I mean, this, let's see, when other people show, I mean, you can Google it. You can see the addresses. You can go back on the ownerships yourself and see my mom and I, my father names. I'm not lying. It's just my mother did not know how to do it and buggered it up lots. And, you know, here I am. My mom did not know who my father was during and didn't remember who I am during. She just did it. And I laugh sometimes when other people blamed, you know, alleged that the properties beneath where the properties were built were Indian graves and stuff, Indian land. And then, which may or may not be true, and they talk about, you know, oh, Canada, the national anthem. And they make, oh, all this land was in India. Well, Canada wasn't like that. Neither was most of the USA. Most of the world isn't that way. I mean, there is Indian land, and yes, there were graves and everything, although it's not complete. I mean, I don't remember lots of history, but I can guarantee the history I learned in the 1970s and 80s in schools was that way inclined, including geography. Although, over the years, alleged Indians from India, Pakistan, Iran, Iraq, and other people from Trinidad, Guyana, Africa, Jamaica, all sorts, you know? And they are like, we're like, not like completely, oh, we have human rights. We can say and do whatever we want to and have human rights that you cannot take away from us. Really? You're in Canada, where the population was mostly Caucasian. It's worse than slavery, I tell you. Remember this when slaves wanted to have human rights and everything? It's worse than that. immigrants, refugees, visitors want human rights, and they don't want any Canadian that's Caucasian to have their say, such as, "You're fired." Fuck off, get out, go away. Leave us alone, we don't want to know you. Are you staff? If you're staff and you did bad, you did wrong, goodbye, you're fired. We don't want to know you at our doors and windows. That's allowed. We don't have to. There's security cameras. This is what I laugh at in this neighborhood. I sincerely do. Indians. It's as if it's Indian NATO. It's everything that's ESL. Nobody is security guards. They're like, oh, because they're black. Oh, because there's a black there, or there's another race, or the same. Oh, we'll just write you up as guilty. And although there's securities and security cameras on images live and recorded, showed that obviously you and your family are not guilty, and that we have human rights. We have the right. And I'm like, you don't have any right. You're discriminating, prejudging, prejudicing haters, premeditated, and personal vendettas. Because I'm Canadian and my father Canadian, pets Canadian, and my mother of alleged British, also since later Canadian. Canadians. And other Canadians probably suffered the same and or worse. And that's not me being anything, that's them. Those other races, creeds, and religions being racist, bigots, discriminations, prejudices, prejudges, threats, violence, violent, etc. All that stuff I mentioned. Health cares and all other times. And I'm not excluding Italians in anything. It can happen any times, you know. I mean, people get fired all the time, you know, be it that they're disabled and or retarded and or mentally challenged, mentally challenged and or mentally ill, medical leaves of absences, and people can tell them to go away and never come back. Doesn't hurt my fifis very. I mean, sure, I'll have a sniffle attack, but I've done nothing wrong. I don't care. I mean, you just have to follow me around on social media and virtual and Google it. You'll see that I'm not lying. I mean, for how many years? I'm 55 years old. I was the most liked, most loved, most popular person that's ever existed. One of very. And when that all began to change, I was like, what happened? I did nothing wrong. And I updated my social media profile photos as, I mean, you can see one of my favorite things to do, read books. So I'm like, I'm going to stand here and get my photo taken. Do a selfie. One of my favorite things to do, read books. I didn't buy a book. That's instead, although, books. And when somebody at the center or wherever tried to show it and told that my mom was the athlete, my mom was the hobbyist, my mother was the employee, my mom did book clubbing and all that, My mom there never did any of that. She goes to play bingo. She doesn't even work bingo. She just plays bingo, does some travel, did some travel, played some bingo, did some dinings. Anything else is slander and defamation. My mom did nothing except maybe get published. But other than that, my mom did nothing. Not very. She did nothing. Didn't even take a course or anything. It was me. I was there. I was the former staff. I was member. I did athletic classes. I tried to do Stitch and Chat. I won't be doing that this year. Not even to knit that much. And or crochet, unfortunately. And yeah, although my mom did attend some walkathons there, she was starting her stuff, you know. So proud of her. I'm not going to try and stop my mom going there doing that again. I mean, does she want to since today? She can. Can I not go with her because of my ill cat? Maybe she can make some other arrangements to go too. I don't know. I tried to get back online virtually, and somebody there was, again, mall walkers. She stood there and she lied about virtuals. I'm like, I stood there, and I know I sent emails, and that's not harassment. And I was like, she's just completely and utterly lying. And I'm like, well, they better get their act together. If they're going to do virtuals, they better start doing them good and proper because I'm not the only one that would have liked to stay at home and did it virtually. Especially when it's the winter months and it's the rainy season, you know. It's not like I'm staff anymore. Although I should, since my concussions have healed. I mean, they're often complaining about lacking staff. I'm there anyways. I was. Why didn't they ask? I could have been a bingo runner. I could have done the circling. I could have helped handed out the prize monies. Book club, she absent. I could have been the one leading the group on reading the book, doing the talk about it all. Uh, I would have loved to help in the kitchen. Can't you? Dropsies. I'm gonna try my this month. I hope. I really, truly, I hope this month. Get the Christmas tree decorated a bit more. Lights are looking kind of pretty. And and yeah. I mean, real estate is what it is. Trying what for how long? But when real estates come out of hiding and they show and tell all their documents, with and or without lawyers, and the bank money shows up as having bought purchases made several times over, and 2100 Sherby Road, apartment 81, rent paid for about a year. I mean, the three centers. I mean, for one, the staff there. That's that, like administration, like casting director, teachers, etc. Yeah, Employment Standards Act and all that other stuff, labor, etc. That stays there. And sure, in the mall, we could have said hellos to each other and all that. That's fine. Everything there stays there. Doesn't mean they should, can, could, may, must, need, are, were, be, and did to, add on, in, out, from, and by residential. And, oh, my nail broke. Shoot. And, see that? It's wobbling. It's coming off. Another nail. Uh, and anything that's like financing elsewhere, it's none of their business. And every time those other people made it, that myself and one and or more former staff and or employee and or employer and employee and member, that's not right. That's not doing administration and all that other stuff. That's just all bad, all purposefully, all purposeful, all wrong. And like I said before, Square One Odorado Center closed. And I laughed when they showed and told us, oh, there's some renovations happening outside. I thought it was just plumbing and pipes, but I don't know. They talk about us maybe moving somewhere, and that's 138 Cawthra Road, moving somewhere. I don't understand how it could be, but anyways, they say it. They said there was even going to be an outdoor swim pool, but that's not been seen. There's not anything there. I don't do that. I don't lie to seniors. I don't lie to my friends and or acquaintances and or others. I don't do that. Even when I was showed and told I should, I tried to avoid. Maybe I would go to the bathroom or something. I would try to not do it. I mean, they're not helping us. We don't want that. I mean, I've tried, you know, that's not even. I mean, does that center and the other center close? Well, if the AACM Active Out Center closed, it would be much the same as when the same kind of staff showed up and just ruined it for everybody. And when I've tried to hire lawyers, I did hire lawyers. Any lawyer that pled me guilty should have been sued for slander and defamation. It's just time and time, and it's consuming money. It's all this. It's all time. It's all this. And instead, and I'm sure it was the same Andrew, Terry Hodgkinson at both centers, all three centers. I mean, sometimes he can wear a mask and he's a really kind man. And then all the other times, he should be in jail. And whoever employed him to be there, it wasn't me. Such as the program coordinator, that wasn't me. And the weirdos, I mean, there's that weird man and all those other residents next door and or guests there, prejudged, presumed. My social media tonight is all about them. Is that weird or what? Because it's not. And I suppose they're disappointed that we're here once more for another few weeks and or more longer. It's like, some other people develop that neurological impairment and or mental illness and or one or more mental illnesses that did and do they see and hear us on one end more media and published and internet Wi-Fi, social media, websites, networked, and yeah, virtuals networked, websites and social media, that it must be us that are neurologically impaired, mentally ill, and instead it's them. I've mentioned it several times over. I don't like to repeat it over, but it's true. If you see us in the media, you're not necessarily mentally ill and or neurologically impaired. It's news and or entertainment. That's coming off. Oh, speaking about celebrities, whether I've ever met one and or they ever met me, Jeffree Star was on TikTok once more. Apparently, he's got a gold collection. Cosmetics, etc. I reposted. I did not buy, although I reposted. And as I've always said, I don't want to hurt his media any and his career or anything, but as I've always showed and told myself, I haven't got anything good to say, I say. I haven't got anything good and or good to show and tell. I don't show and tell anything. Well, I had some good, so I did. He's got two reposts. The other one, well, follow him around, and you probably already know who she's the other end of it. She's the morbidly too skinny, and I'm the in between morbidly too fat and well-being and fitness kind of. She's too skinny and I'm almost too fat, but I'm not quite there yet. And I never will be. I must weigh around 150 pounds. I weigh around 145 right now. She's like around 60 or 70 pounds. For me to get that down, you'd be hearing me in my next week or two. I'd be crying and howling online. I need food. I want food. It's like this pre-workout stuff. I wish I could have gotten the chocolate one instead. Really should have got the chocolate one. But anyways, I got the vanilla. At least I think it's vanilla. I overcooked it. That's my fault. Supposed to cook it 30 seconds, stir, and then another 30 seconds, stir, and then decide the consistency. I want it thicker, got it too thick. Next time I'll just keep it thinner. I can hardly wait till the next day. And I can maybe exercise more than 2K. In addition to doing some indoor walk fit and choreographed walk fit, etc. I can't do some chair exercises right now because I still have difficulty rotating my wrists. Which sucks because I was really enjoying that. I went. Do you remember that Christmas thing? The drummer boy? Hiya. The first one I think I'm gonna, and it's not because I'm a molester and or a pedophile or any or both. I'm not. I just like watching children's. Well, I like watching cartoons. Like with sometimes this is my favorite month. So the first one obviously is going to be Charlie Brown Christmas, or the Charlie Brown Great Pumpkin. I didn't watch much in October and November. Now that I've got time, we can watch that. And then my cat, see okay tomorrow. That's what we'll be doing instead of me actually doing this. Under lots of vlogging, we'll be watching Charlie Brown Pumpkin, Charlie Brown Christmas, Drummer Boy. Yeah, pretty much 3 things. If you don't like it, too bad. I don't care. I even on other social media, I still look at cartoons like Garfield and Simon because it's fun. I like watching that stuff. It's good. I mean, I even wear a Garfield t-shirt sometimes. Food. But I did, that would be for a good thing. Because I could have that, because I don't eat breakfast very, and it's not that good, you know. So that and eat a sandwich. One sandwich, not two. One sandwich. And I'm going to, instead of cutting it that way, I'm going to do it thin slices and have a nice layer. I might not do a tomato. Maybe I'll do the tomato later. Something else. But cucumber, nice and layered. Some raw green onion, nice and layered. Some mayonnaise. And then close it up. Maybe cut it in half. And eat that. Ghost. That actually fell off my kitchen table all by itself. Ghost. The neighborhood's haunted. Where do I go? Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. On the 4th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. You could hear it. You hear that noise? That actually, my cat's in his cat house. My mom is elsewhere. Plants are over there, and I'm sitting here, and it just went off the table all by itself. Oh wow. Was it any of us? It was another ghost. It was a ghost. Ghost. Be gone, ghost. Go away. the chat got slowed down. So when I finish my tea, I'm gonna have a coffee. I have to collect garbage. I want it to be a beautiful Christmas. So when my cat comes out, his house crosses the room. There's nothing in his path, just all Christmas. Everything Christmas for his beautiful eyes to look upon. It's not the most glamorous, but it's not the worst. And he can just see sparkles. Silver sparkles, silver and gold. He allowed me to brush him. I brushed. I did not bite. Even if he does bite once more, if he gets paranoid, aggressive, and agitated around me, or just mad at me, or mad at whatever, doesn't want touched, I'll keep this. Isn't this a cute little brush? It's my cat brush. I have a glove too, but that's what happened. I sedated him, and he collapsed. He collapsed twice. When November 12th happened, and the police and that alleged coroner was over there, and he sort of collapsed, but then he collapsed completely on the floor. He just collapsed, and I helped him get back up, and he was fine. And then he did that other collapse where he was just staring into space and hardly even breathing. And then he would stop breathing. I could not find a pulse or any air. So, and all that veterinarian stuff happened. Veterinarians. Since then, he's been fine. He's looked around kind of funny, but other than that, he seemed. But then I've done research. Cats are very sensitive to that kind of stuff. So he's in his house. Can't wait to see his face. was this that got knocked over? There's this back on my kitchen table. Leave it alone. Pretty well.